All right, everybody, we are back. This is Rell Cummings and Dane and I with season 2, episode 19 of the Always Relevant podcast. Welcome back, Dane. What's going on, man?
Football's over, man, but hey, we'll be talking about some NBA today. You know I love that.
I know. Honestly, this is kind of like a sad day of the year for me because I'm a diehard football fan, and it's just like, all right, this is the reality. You know, Super Bowl happened yesterday. There's just going to be no more football, no more games till at least the end of August, early September, and it saddens me. XFL and all those other leagues, that doesn't count. I'm not trying to watch that. I don't care about that. It's whatever. I'm ready for NFL. I'm ready for college ball, and we'll see what's good. But either way, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start off with how are you? How are you really? And I guess I'll get into that. How am I? As always, I'm okay. How am I really? I'm sad. I'm sad, like I said before, full season's over. I'm sad because the Cincinnati Bengals last night, on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, they lost the Super Bowl to the Rams. They had a chance to win, to have their opportunities. I did think the Rams are ultimately had better pieces, but I thought the Bengals came out, the defense ready to play. We'll discuss it later on. Either way, it saddens me, but I guess ultimately, I don't know. It's all right. I'm cool with their season. I think they overachieved, and I'm overall proud of the team. But still, deep down, it's like you saw it. You saw the win that could have happened right there, and then it gets taken away. Not taken away, but they just didn't quite make it. But that's how I am. So a little bit down because of that, but it's all good. So Dane, how are you? How are you really?
Oh, how am I? You know, football's over. And like you just said, it kind of sucks. You know, even though the Browns sucked and their 75th anniversary season was ruined by a myriad of reasons we already talked about in the past, I won't dwell on that. So how am I really? Hey, Cavs, baby. Cavs all day, every day. NBA All-Star game right here, right, in Cleveland this weekend. Yep. Pretty excited about that. And I think it's worth noting the Blue Jackets, 3-0 last week. Patrick Laine was a second star in the NHL last week. Sign the man, pay him. Other than that, I'm doing good.
No, that's good, man. That's good. I'm wearing this shirt one more time for the Bengals. They're still the AFC North champs 2021. AFC champs in 2021, 2022. Yes, they're runners up in the Super Bowl. Yes, it's their third Super Bowl they've been to and haven't won. It's okay. They're trending in the right direction. We'll get into some details here in a little bit, but it's all right. I'm okay. I'm going to deal with it. We'll be good. But we're going to push to mix it up with Lee. Lee sent us a couple recipes because we're going to say Happy Valentine's Day to all the couples out there. I know we're all saying it to where we need to say it. And if you don't, we have something for you too. So for all the couples out there, Happy Valentine's Day. The first drink is for Mix It Up with Lee, Keeping It Cognac for Valentine's Day week. So you have 1.5 ounces of cognac, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, I guess how you pronounce it, 0.25 ounces of Benedictine liquor, 0.75 ounces of lemon juice, 0.75 ounces of pomegranate juice, 0.5 ounces of simple syrup. You're going to shake and strain into a chilled coupe and garnish with dried rose petals. So either way, sounds like a nice, flavorful Valentine's Day drink. We'll have to try it out. I just have to go get some cognac real quick and see what's good. They have everything else here in the cabinet.
Okay. What else you got?
The other drink, I don't know if I can say it. I know it's
this a singles drink here? Is this a haters drink?
Yeah, this singles drink. The people that aren't really selling, that are not out there celebrating Valentine's Day, the Vieux Carré, and like I said, I think I pronounced that right. It's French, aka Old Town or French Quarter. So typically, if you're in Old Town, you're in French Quarter. You're single, you're hanging out, you're trying to kick it. You're not worried about Valentine's Day. You're trying to do your thing. So 1.0 ounces of cognac, 1.0 ounces of rye whiskey, 0.75 ounces of sweet vermouth, 0.25 ounces of Benedictine liquor, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. I know I pronounced that wrong. 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. You're going to stir and strain over new ice in a rocks glass, garnish with a cherry or a lemon twist. So there you go. That's how you're doing it. That's how everybody is covered for Valentine's Day. We have drinks for you. We'll have pictures up later on our Instagram page and Facebook pages and probably Twitter too, so you can see what they look like. See if you want to try it out. We'll have the recipes out there and we'll go from there. So looking forward to it. Now we're going to get to our restaurants of the week. Me personally, I did not really go anywhere. Lane and I ate lunch at our normal little sports bar we go to, Buffalo Joe's. No one's here about that. They've already heard about before. Had my chicken wing wrap there. But what we did do for the Super Bowl, went to a friend's house and we had a Skyline bar. Can't go wrong with it. So you had noodles, you had your hot dogs, buns, cheese, obviously the Cincinnati Skyline chili. Can't go wrong. Hey, everybody's got to try at least once, has a little sweet taste to it. Yes, there is cinnamon in chili. Yes, it tastes great. Yes, you should try it out. Anybody that thinks differently, I don't care. So that's how it was, how we went with it. And it was good, and I wasn't mad about it. So, Dane, where's your restaurant that you're going to discuss this week?
Well, I was going to talk about the glass burn-in, a nice, fantastic wedding I was at this weekend. A buddy of mine getting married. It was a blast. But I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl meal because that's what's important. And what did we do? Me and Jackie stayed home and got McDonald's. 20-piece chicken nugget, Big Mac, double cheeseburgers, French fries.
That was just you, right?
Huh?
That was just you, right?
Oh, no, I shared a little bit with her. And it was, man, I'll tell you what, I never do that very, very rarely these days. But it's Get Big 2022. I was feeding some McDonald's. It was good. I actually got it on time. I didn't have to wait in line too long.
Nice.
Just fantastic job by McDonald's for the Super Bowl. It was good.
I can't remember last time I actually went to McDonald's to get food. Usually I get it. It's going to be McDonald's breakfast and we're getting it door dashed. So
yeah, there you go. The chicken nuggets, still the top. Still the best nuggets out there.
Still, really? Oh, we might have to debate that one day. Well, let's see. Best chicken nuggets out there.
So out of the fast food chains. Yeah.
Okay, out of fast. Okay. We'll start to debate that. We'll see. We'll create a bracket. That'll happen soon.
Because they still cost like $4.59 or something for 10, right? The fact that Burger King and Wendy's can sell a 10-piece nugget for 99 cents, what the hell are you eating, right? How do you sell a 10-piece chicken nugget for 99 cents?
Burger King, they don't even call it chicken. They just call it nuggets.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. He's like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
You don't put chicken in front of that? Like, I'm 100% good.
Yeah.
I'm
not
not
saying even call it chicken.
But that's a reason why we don't. Because then you say chicken nuggets, it's just nuggets. No, thank you.
No, thank you. What is just a nugget?
Yeah, I don't want to know. I'm not trying to find out either. So, all right. First segment, we're going to get into kind of what's been hitting us during this pandemic. It's been hitting hard as far as everything. The Great Resignation overall, like the job market is out there. You know, people are leaving their jobs kind of en masse overall. Since, like I said, since the pandemic, you know, a lot of people, they had lost their jobs. And the rate of that was kind of increasing a little bit. But there's a lot of people now that are out there are leaving their jobs, thinking that either if they're in the service industry, maybe they could receive better benefits from unemployment and the different services that were coming out there and everything. Or maybe they feel like other people are leaving their jobs. The grass is greener on the other side now that the pandemic is it seems like it's kind of winding down. There may be some other job opportunities out there. So they figure, you know what, we're going to go ahead, we're going to leave our job right here because we think there's going to be the grass is greener on the other side. We can put ourselves in position to get a good place of employment. So what are your thoughts on everything as far as just the whole situation?
Well, the Great Resignation, also called the Big Quit, which I kind of like the Big Quit.
It is kind of the Big Quit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the Big Quit, right? I guess it was doing a little research here like we like to do. Anthony Klotz is a professor at Texas A&M who termed the Great Resignation and said it was coming a couple months before it happened. Right. So 33 million people have quit their jobs since the spring of 2021. 33 million. And it says the sheer number of openings combined with the lower unemployment rate is definitely what's driving it a little bit. But there's all kinds of reasons people's quitting, right? So like you said, during the pandemic, people got used to staying home, found out they could work from home, and now everybody you talk to is looking for a job at home. Doesn't matter what wedding you go to, you go out to eat, go to a bar, when you have conversations with people, what do they always talk about? I need to get one of them remote jobs. That's all you hear, right?
I'll be honest, I was looking for that before the pandemic even happened. You know what I mean? Like that was like, well, before with my current job, I mean, I'll be able to do that now or whatever, but that was something that was ideal. If I could find a job where I could work from home most of the time, like I'm good. That's just what I'm wanting. But I think people also find out during the pandemic when they had to work from home, it's not for everybody. Some people go stir crazy working home, or they need to be around people, need to be back in the office or whatever. That's not me. Like I can go either direction as far as that, but people definitely don't necessarily function well in that environment. It's not for everybody. as far as doing that. So,
well, yeah. And then like the biggest hit, we talked about the hospitality. And
right.
we bashed the hospitality on this show.
Yeah, we kind
I
of
don't
did.
know how many times because of crap service and all this stuff. But most people are leaving hospitality, right? Because we've talked about this without rehashing the whole thing with the benefits and the unpredictable pay. And now there was no pay because everything was closed for a while.
Right.
And all these other industries were hiring during the pandemic and needed people to show up to work to replace all people at their current place that weren't showing up to work. So all these people in hospitality that wanted to work ended up getting in these other fields that had all these openings, right?
Right.
So, and then you put up the competition and then all the, extra pay and double pay and increases in wages and stuff, not keeping up with the 7-8% inflation. But obviously that's driving people away from tip and, kind of incentive laden jobs like that in hospitality because it's just not there like it used to be. And especially in some of the smaller places, right? Like in New York City, you probably can still make a killing, working at some of these bars. Or like some of like where I'm at now and some of these other places, it's just this, who's going to show up to work all night till 2-3 in the morning and walk away with $50, right? Bartending all night.
Yeah, that's tough. Not unless you can still bring a following to you that like people are coming there just to see you, then all right, that's one thing. But yeah, it's tough for these bartenders, I feel like, to go out there and just make that money like they normally did. I feel like the service industry is just down and,
I think people realize too, like, a lot of people used to try to live paycheck to paycheck on that stuff and everything, realize, hey, I can go get a job where it's consistent pay. I can do a budget. If something happens, I'll be all right. No one could have foreseen this happening. And, all these people are out of work. But the Great Resignation is great because people are just saying, I don't want to work anymore. That's a lot of it, right? I like being at home.
That's tough, though, still, because trying to find those jobs and the cost of living is still going up. That hasn't stopped the whole time. You know what I mean? So, like, to me,
average home price in California is $833,000.
Yeah, that's out of control. That's out of control. I mean, that's how it is on the West Coast, though. It's how it is in New York. It's how it is in California. Like, luckily, I live here in Ohio, and it's more reasonable as far as that. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. It's still going up. Like, our house was, I think we got it for like 200 something. As far as that, I look at what is valued at right now, is valued at like 310 or 315,000 as far as doing that. So man, I should sell my house, get 100K, get 100K profit for it, then figure it out. And then we'll have to go pay like 400 or 500K for the next house we want to get. So it's like, maybe we should think twice about this.
Well, yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. I mean, and then, the price of used cars because of the chip shortage and all this craziness is insane. But, we wanted to look, why are people really quitting, right? So the number one reason that you look at everywhere, right, is relationship with the boss. Everybody's blaming the boss. I hate that mofo or whatever, right? Everybody's quitting because of their boss. And all you see online is, I hate this guy, or I'm treated this way and that way, right? So that's the number one reason.
That's true. Like, if you're the boss, I mean, you do have to, especially with millennials, some Gen Z generation, whatever. I think you do have to kind of treat things a little bit differently than what you used to. Gen X is one thing. They deal with things a certain way. I know I'm super generalizing. I know it's not like this in every situation, but I feel like those younger generations are looking for more of that work-life balance, right? They want something where they're gonna be happy, have their make sure they're happy inside of work and outside of work. They want to be treated right by the right people. They don't want to be treated a certain way. They want to be respected a certain way or whatever. And they want to have that relationship with their boss. They don't want to be talked down to or whatever. And they're willing to leave certain jobs, doesn't matter kind of their pay, in order to have that better work-life balance. And I think that's definitely a trend that's not going away.
Yeah, man, like the baby boomers, lived to work, and there was different relationships with companies back in the day. They used to have softball teams and do a lot of stuff, and there's companies starting to bring a lot about that because, everything's about employee engagement, emotional intelligence, and all that stuff right now, which is rightfully so in today's environment for sure. Right. But, some of this stuff, though, you just can't do nothing about. You can do all the engagement you want. You can work with someone all you can want to do. And then you got this stuff right here. So let's talk a little bit about all this. And what do you do if this is the situation?
Right.
So someone left their job because their boss lost the dog she had given him. So she just quit coming to work because she lost the dog that the boss gave to her, which is terrible, right?
She lost the wait. She lost the dog, or the boss lost the dog that she gave.
She lost the dog that her boss gave her.
I mean, maybe she was just embarrassed.
That got nothing to do with no COVID, right? So
No, not at all.
Our employee said he was joining the circus. Do you think that employee was telling the truth, or was he just being a jerk?
I guess he wanted to do something he was passionate about. That's what we'll say.
Is that what it is? That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give this guy the benefit of the doubt then.
I mean, I guess it's gonna help his work-life balance.
All right. A staff member left to climb Mount Everest. Quit their job to go climb Mount Everest.
Better than me.
Yeah.
To me,
I ain't climbing nothing.
That's seriously messing with your money.
I ain't climbing nothing but a casino buffet. All right.
Get big 2022.
2020. Get big 2022. There was an individual who left to play the trombone. Now, is that a career, or is that like, it doesn't elaborate? You going to work for a symphony, or what are you doing?
Right. Like, did he play it before? Did he have like tryouts or something like that? Or he's like, no, I'm just going to pick up the trombone and we'll figure it out. Join the next, the high school marching band, practice with them, we'll be good to go.
I'm going to rank this under I'm being a jerk when I quit explanation.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. An employee wanted to enter a beauty contest.
Did
you have to quit your job?
Well, guess I got to practice those questions.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you win Miss America or whatever, you get a busy schedule then, but
Right. But I mean, that's seriously winning some competitions.
So I like this one. One worker left to become an apple farmer. Now, where do we does this go under a jerk answer, or are they legitimately going to work on a farm?
Before the pandemic, I say, you know what, it could be, because I do know someone that did that. They left the corporate job to go out there and build their own farm. They raised cattle and sheep, and they farmed corn and everything because they were sick of the corporate world. So I see that, but farmers, they're not quite doing as well as what they were doing prior to the pandemic. So is it really worth it? That might have been a jerk move.
And it might be their apple farm, right? They might be running it so they can work from home, but I'm going to file this under I'm being a jerk when I quit answer. All right, here we go. Now, these are classics here because this is based off of, they don't like the actual physical building. Right. One person quit because he hated the carpet. I wish we knew how much they were making and how much money they walked away.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I wonder what kind of carpet it was. It was a shag carpet. It was probably that typical corporate, old school corporate setting where it was like that blue carpet and you're in a cow farm and everything. So everything looks kind of gray or whatever. Like, they had limited windows. If you wanted to see a window, you had to stand in front of a cubicle and look across the whole room in order to see the window view, which were tinted. So you couldn't really get any feel of how it was outside anyway. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's killing their vibe.
And this might go on to this too. A worker did not like the color of the walls.
Same.
Not see that when they started the job where the walls painted a different color while they were there. What do you think about that?
Apparently they didn't think about the emotional distress that those walls would cause them. So.
I know. Yeah, we know we have calming colors and we have colors that keep people awake, all this stuff. But I'm going to file both those under I'm being a jerk answer. All right. She left because she hated the lighting in the building.
Same. Old school corporate building structure. There's bright lights in there. It's super low, super chill. You might fall asleep in your chair. Maybe, like I said, may affected her.
I'm not going to lie. I actually heard some of this stuff way before, personally, myself, before the Great Resignation over.
Right.
I've been around a while now. All right. He quit because he didn't like the way the office smelled. We got to get some candles lit, get some fragrance going. What we need here?
Something. Obviously something. The office, I wonder what it smelled like. Is someone breaking the unofficial office rules of heating up fish in the microwave, or do the bathrooms need to be cleaned, or which happened to me in my case, which is the person that sat across from me used to put on nail polish every day when I was eating lunch. Not every day, every other day. And so I hate to smell nail polish to this day as far as doing that.
Yeah, that's real. It's a real thing, right?
It's a real thing for sure.
All right. An individual did not like the sound of cabinets being slammed. So
where were they?
I don't know, man. It sounds pretty serious though.
Right.
All right. So this one, I've heard this. I mean, we've actually heard this one. Me and my brother have heard this. One person quit to watch a soccer tournament. Let me tell you, there's parts of this world where they will quit their job to watch soccer games. So
I believe it. I believe it. So I don't know if they quit, but at least, a shift. Hey, this is important. We're not coming back. We're watching this game. You don't like it? We'll quit.
Well, we'll quit. Yep.
Then there's like everybody's gone. What are you gonna do then? When everybody leaves, all right, we're quitting. Yep.
All
right.
All right. An employee left because he wanted to watch a movie with his girlfriend during work hours. I don't know what to think about that one.
I don't either. They should be fired.
They should be fired. Yeah. Okay, I like that. We had someone quit so he could stay home and feed his dog. I have honestly heard this one before too, like a couple times.
Yeah, you know what? Because people, especially during the pandemic, their dogs are, their family. And honestly, especially during the pandemic, their dogs like family. And even more, like I did a study on this when I was in the MBA program on like a particular dog food, whatever, and the buying trends of pet owners. And more, especially during the pandemic, more people, if they were thinking about having kids, they weren't ready to have kids yet. So they would have dogs or pets kind of not in place of kids, but they'll bring them to their family as if they were their kids or whatever. So they would buy them the best food, cook them food, do all this stuff. And they wanted to give them the best nutrients possible. And they're willing to spend that money on it. And they're willing to take the time to do that. So that doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you.
All right. So this last group I got for you, I heard all this several times before the pandemic, right? So I guess we could just say during the pandemic, this has escalated to this level. One person left because she didn't want to work so hard. Man, I've heard that a million times from people over the years in the industries I've been in. That just is you're going to keep hearing that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to stop anytime soon as far as doing that.
Yeah, man, you'll hear that after the first day. Someone after their first day might even be halfway through. Might even tell you, I got to go to the bathroom and never come back, right? That's the ones you got right there.
Things like you got to think about that before, though. Like, I know with me, I knew what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do. I have much respect for people that do manual labor and work in factories. Much respect. You can make a great living doing that. I knew that's not what I wanted to do. I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go a different direction. Didn't know what direction I wanted to go, but I knew it wasn't that direction.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to figure out, I'm going to go to school, get a degree in business. I'm trying to get a job in some corporation, get an office job, and go from there, because I'm not trying to do manual labor for however long I have to do it for, or I'm not trying to, work in a restaurant, be a bartender, anything like that for however long. I'm not trying to do that. I want to be able to, when it's all said and done, sit back and chill and kick it whenever I want, whenever it's all said and done and over with.
That's the mentality today, though. You're not any different than what a lot of people's thinking out there. Right. You've just been able to, find something and stuff like that to do. So,
right. But if people do go that route, you can be very successful doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. I actually encourage it, because you probably have a higher opportunity to find jobs that way in those skilled labor trades and everything like that, if you're willing to put in the work.
And this next one kind of ties into some people. And I've heard this one a lot. An employee said, told us he just couldn't get up in the morning. And I've heard that one a lot.
I mean,
I just can't get up in the morning, man. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, I guess not for everybody, but like, if that's the case, I mean, find a job where you work second shift, or like where you're third shift, figure that out. If you know yourself, you can't get up, be at work by 8 o'clock in the morning, then find a job where you can work a different shift where you can.
Yep. Hey, and then this one, an employee said work was getting in the way of having fun. Well, doesn't that just sum up today's mentality? Right?
Like, is that not life? Like, yeah, do we want to work? No. We all have to work because we have bills we have to pay. That's just life. That's how it is. Plus, Uncle Sam's going to take his cut. And can you make money by having fun? If you can make money by having fun, me and you'd be rich, 100%.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
And some people do get rich having fun. There's ways to do that online. All right. A staffer quit because the informal dress was not allowed. Now, this one's a good one, because like, as we've known, like, I remember I used to wear a tie and a suit to work. Like, those days are over, man. I don't have to wear anything I don't want to wear right now, right? Like,
That's true.
And that's just everywhere. It's getting like that. Like, I don't know how Men's Warehouse stays in business because nobody buying suits anymore. Actually, probably the rental business is what keeps them in, for weddings and all that kind of stuff. But, and me, I like a good suit. I got a few, but I'm older. Like, how many young people are really rocking a suit anymore, even have one, right?
No, not at all. Like at most, you're probably going to see people wearing polos and slacks, what I mean, nowadays. And
so casual wear. Yeah.
Well, and that's called business casual. And then it's like, that's almost extra casual, to be honest with you. Before business casual was you're wearing a button down shirt where you normally have a tie with it. Just don't wear your tie with it. You're still wearing slacks and some decent shoes. That's not the case anymore. Business casual is definitely relaxed from what it used to be. And it's not even that. It's not even really that anymore. Like it's just like you said. It's just not. So
all right. So we got two more, right? And this one you will never hear this out of my mouth. A guy told us he was making too much money and didn't feel he was worth it. I'm gonna file that under the dick answer because there's no way he meant it. He meant that, right?
Yeah. Definitely that was jerk answer because no, I'm good.
All right. And then this last one's what we were just talking about. Someone left because she was going to live off her trust fund. Hey, that's all good. If I could do it, I'd do it too.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean,
man.
Depending on how much money's in that trust fund, don't blow it. You can spend money quick. Hey, she could have been messing with their money. Hopefully that trust fund is infinite. I doubt it though.
Yep. Hey, so those are a lot of the reasons, but we had to address the Great Resignation. If you've quit, let us know on the pages why you quit, because we're getting a good list together for this.
That's right. We're gonna put it out there. I'm put a poll out there after we post this video tomorrow, and we're gonna put it up there on Instagram. At Always Relevant. We'll put it on there on Facebook as well. Facebook stories, Instagram stories. You can go ask questions. Did you quit your job during the Great Resignation and why?
Yeah.
And see what we hear. See, I'm interested to get those answers and see what our listeners have said. I did not quit my job during the Great Resignation. I was lucky enough to not have to, and lucky enough to be able to work from home and still be able to keep things going as normal. So I was blessed in that way. So
I didn't get to work from home. If anything, I was working more. So the pandemic didn't affect me from that standpoint, but we feel bad for all the people who lost their jobs. But let me tell you right now, if you're out there looking, now's the time to apply. You don't think you're qualified for a job because you're missing this or missing that, and you want it, apply for it, because there's probably a lot of other candidates out there that don't have what you have, right? Every job application and posting is going to have their ideal candidate requirements, right?
Right.
Shouldn't dissuade you from applying if you think it's in your wheelhouse, especially during the Great Resignation when the talent pool is lighter than it's been in quite some time and everybody needs talent, right?
Well, and another thing is, besides that, because like I said, a lot of people are leaving their current jobs, go look for those other jobs, put their names in the hat in these other jobs, these other positions, because like you said, the talent pool is just lighter than what it normally is. So this is a lot of good opportunity. I know Dennis, he brought this up, DJ. He said, what about those opportunities within your own company? Like, can you put yourself in a different position or a better position to move up at your company because you have that experience already? You've been there for a period of time. Maybe you've shown the responsibility. Maybe it's your opportunity to move up and show them that you're ready to take on that additional responsibility as well, instead of potentially having to jump ship and start new at a new company. So it's always something to think about in that aspect too, right?
Yeah. And you know what? But there's two things that concern me, right? So people are making more money and there's jobs out there, right? And everything like that. But there's two things that raise a red flag with me. Obviously, the inflation, which is the highest it's been in forever, maybe.
Right.
7-8%. So the rate of pay hasn't kept up with that, according to the government statistics that are out there. Mm-hmm. And U.S. household debt is growing. So that leads me, even though that means some people who ain't working, that were relying on maybe stimulus checks and all this stuff, or quit their job because of that. And now that stuff's over, you're seeing the debt start to come back up because people might not be going back to work and charging stuff. There's two huge key indicators there that are saying everything isn't hunky-dory, right? So, take advantage of them opportunities, because at some point, how things work. The job market's going to shift in, into the favorability of the employers again. where,
Right.
they'll be able to negotiate for more of a position of strength. The candidate pool gets a little tighter.
Yep.
I recommended people go out for jobs and start looking for them before all the COVID bonuses, or whatever you want to call them, supplement checks, one of them things called stimulus checks. Get out there would have been the time to do it, especially with that stuff winding down. But
Right.
also, I do think things are turning around because out in New York City, the mask mandates are gone. So some of the COVID restrictions are going away as we start to head towards something that's going to be more of an endemic than a pandemic once it gets classified as that. So that's going to change things around too. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, for sure. For sure. All right. Now we're moving on to the topic that I'm saddened about. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. I know Dane's got some stats for us. Anybody watch the game? It was a good game. I thought the Bengals held out. I think they played pretty well. I know we probably have a few things to discuss for what happened throughout the game. Dane, what are your thoughts on everything?
A great game.
You being a non-Bengals fan, non-Rams fan, just a purely football, armchair football expert. What were your thoughts?
It was a great game. I picked the Bengals to win by 3. The Rams ended up winning by 3. I trusted Joe Burrow more than I trusted Stafford.
Which wasn't a bad thing.
No, and I think Stafford's 2 interceptions and some of the bad throws he made justified me believing in Burrows more.
Right.
The Bengals offensive line played better the week before. I thought that might continue against the Rams. It did not.
Rams D-line was too – I told you last week is what I was worried about completely was their D-line against the Bengals offense line, and the fact that the Rams did not have the blitz to bring pressure on Joe Burrow. Like their front four was just eating up the Bengals, and it was crazy.
Yeah, what was interesting, though, is both D-lines dominated. The Rams only had 43 rushing yards. The Bengals had 79. Nobody can get really anything going on the ground. But, I mean, the Rams running backs couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
so, I mean, the way that Stafford it's really hard because we talked about this a little bit before. I thought it was a tale of two halves. I thought 2 big turning points happened, right? The Bengals got that touchdown. Then they got the ball back right away on a Stafford interception.
Yep.
If you watch the broadcast, they're blaming the receiver, and people were saying, "Oh, if OBJ was there, caught." No, he overthrew the guy, right?
Yeah,
that's why he reached out, and that was on Stafford. So
right.
Sometimes I hate the media with their agendas, want to make people look better than they are and blame somebody else. No, that was a crap pass.
Yeah, it was bad pass. Receiver got a hand on it, and it tipped and went to the Cincinnati DB. Yeah, it was a bad pass. He threw it away from his body. It wasn't a good pass at all. But
when the Bengals did not score a touchdown on that possession, I really thought they could have sucked the life out of the Rams with a touchdown. But the Rams defense was a story for me in the second half, not just Cooper Kupp on the last drive, but the Rams defense did what they did to the 49ers and got shut down football going. Aaron Donald got going after he got shoved a little bit, really ticked him off.
Yep.
They're talking about him as the greatest defensive player ever. I disagree. That's a different conversation.
Yeah,
people are saying Lawrence Taylor. I personally think it was Ray Lewis, but I just think the Rams defense and clutch played by the Rams, and then what everybody else is saying is the facts. The stars showed up for the Rams at the end.
They did.
Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald. That's why people get paid right there.
They earned it. And Cooper Kupp, he's earning himself. He's messing with his money because he's going to get paid. I don't know what his current contract situation is. I think he got paid a little bit this past.
Oh yeah, he's already paid well, but he's on.
When it's time for an extension, he's going to get one, and he's proven why he led the league in catches, receiving, touchdowns. Did the same thing in the playoffs. Like he had a historic year, and he can't. When it was time for someone to step up, OBJ was hurt earlier in the game. Rams had no running game. Stafford's like, "Hey, I'm throwing you the ball. Get open." He did, and much respect to him for that. There's
I was looking about it. Yeah, and I was looking at this, and this stat, and this makes me wonder. Maybe the Bengals should have rushed a little more as I look at this because they did average 4 yards a carry. 4 yards a carry is what you run plays for, right?
Yeah.
The Rams averaged 1.9, and if you watch the game, I thought it'd be negative 1.9 the way that was going.
Right.
The Mixon touchdown pass was great. That's because plays like that work when the running game gets going a little bit. Mixon was starting to get going a little bit.
Right.
But But
And-
if I look at the stats, like look at Stafford and Burrow comparison, right? Stafford
Right.
26 of 40, Burrow 22 of 33. Stafford had 283 yards, Burrow 263. Stafford 3 touchdowns, but he had the 2 interceptions. Burrow's 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Burrow 39.7 QBR and Stafford was a 60.8. I don't really put too much in the QBR, but this is the big one. Burrow was sacked 7 times for a loss of 43 yards. And obviously he was pressured more than that. Stafford was only sacked twice for 13 yards.
He was sacked 6 times in the third quarter alone.
Yeah. And you know what? The Bengals O-line wasn't that bad in the first half. Like I said, I think the Rams just kicked it into another gear.
Yeah, they did. And I think the Rams defense took over. I thought sorry, go ahead.
No, real quick, big drop by Boyd on that third and 10 that would have been a first down. He's got to catch that ball. Yeah. He didn't have a drop all year, and he just picked the worst possible time to drop.
You saw it plain as day. He just tried to look ahead before he had the ball in his hand. Like the ball was close. You see him look up, and he just dropped it. And kids, when you're playing receiver, look the ball in every time.
That was a first down. Yeah. That was a first down, and he cannot drop that. That play reminds me of that play when Foles was hot. Foles kind of had the Burrow thing going where he was just winning with the Eagles. And, against that second year when he was in their second round of the playoffs, he threw that pass and hit Aguilar right in the hands, and then it got intercepted. That was kind of the type of play that was like where, you knew Burrow was going to get it done. Yep. You needed everybody else to get it done for you. And that was a rough drop, man. He just didn't get a lot of help in the second half. Chase, 5 receptions, 89 yards. He had some big plays.
And everybody was talking about like the referees at the end or whatever. The only thing I would say, and I'd never blame referees for games or whatever. The only thing I will say is I feel like that there were not hardly any penalties throughout the whole game. They were letting them play, letting them be physical. I will admit on that T. Higgins touchdown, he threw down Jalen Ramsey. Like that should have been
his face mask.
Yeah. Now the referee probably didn't see it because the way it looked and looked like he was just trying to get back around him. But he definitely pulled him down by his face mask, caught the ball, and walked to the end zone. So that, I will admit, should have been a pass interference. But
now the previous year, you could throw a flag and challenge pass interference, but you can't do that anymore. I think if you could have threw a flag for pass interference, they might have won that one.
Yeah, because there was that, but then like they got a little more ticky-tack when the Bengals are on defense.
That one holding call was absolutely terrible. You can't call that in that game. I mean, there was some crap calls there late. The one Apple did pull him on the one penalty, but
he did for sure. Yeah, I think the one on the linebacker, Logan Wilson, I think it was. That was tough. I mean, his hand was on his back, but like they've been letting him play kind of all game. So it's like you're gonna bring your whistles out now, like. That's tough. Like I said, that's not why the Bengals lost the game. It was already going downhill at that point. The momentum had already switched at that point in time. But I just thought it was interesting how the referees did kind of do a 180 versus what they were doing the rest of the game. So
I mean that was tough, but I just got to give it to the Rams. I don't think it's that Cincinnati played bad. I just think that the Rams made more plays at the end. You've seen the talent come through with the Rams that they paid all this money for. You've seen it happen. You've seen it take over. Burrow had no time. That D-line for the Rams, including Aaron Darnold, were all over the place. Yeah, and Stafford, who made mistakes that people won't admit for some reason on TV, who watched the game, watched him throw some terrible passes.
He did. He missed a wide open Van Jefferson in the end zone.
Oh yeah,
touchdown, right? Like it was bad too. Like most NFL quarterbacks are not going to overshoot their receiver that bad on a 15-yard throw. They're just not.
Yeah, Stafford has a great team. And you know what? That win, he might go. He has the lifetime stats, right? So I mean, that probably makes him.
It's what he needed to be a Hall of Famer.
Probably makes him a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So
maybe I think it does because of his lifetime numbers, and then you throw that Super Bowl in there.
You can't deny. I mean, he was in Detroit, which is like the abyss for years. And like, well, if he was with another team, he'd do well in the playoffs. Well, he went to another team, did well in the playoffs, won the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't deny it.
He's one of those guys that the talent's undeniable, but he makes a lot of bad throws and critical.
He's kind of a gunslinger, right? A little bit. He's got a little Favre in him, right?
Yeah. But you know what? The Lions never won. And some of that is on him because he was a turnover machine at times. Um, you know what? I've never been a huge Stafford fan, but at the end of the day, he did come through in the clutch. I think the Bengals almost let him off the hook more because the only person he was throwing to was Cooper Kupp, and the Bengals weren't covering. I don't get it.
The thing is, they were double teaming. They were double teaming Kupp all game, and Kupp, you hadn't heard from him. He had like one catch.
One catch before that, I think one or two at the most.
And then for whatever reason, in the fourth quarter, they changed it up. And I don't know why. I don't know if they got conservative or whatever, or they were worried because for a little bit they're throwing to the tight end a little bit. They threw the Van Jefferson a little bit. And it was a third string tight end where they had the running back out of the backfield. They gave up some yards on it. I would have made them keep doing that. I'm not going to let Cooper Kupp be the person that beats me because I feel like the rest of my defense can match up better with the rest of the receiving core versus trying to match up with Cooper Kupp. Now, if Odell Beckham would have been in the game the whole time, I honestly think that the game could have been completely different and might not have been as close to what it was because he was creating matchup problems for their defense, in my opinion. Because the Bengals like, we're going to double Odell Beckham Jr. or we're going to double Cooper Kupp. They chose double Cooper Kupp, and Odell Beckham Jr. is better than the Bengals slot corner or the Bengals second cornerback, in my opinion. And I think he was creating mismatches. And
well, he had a really nice touchdown catch. It's hard to pull the ball on when the guy's arm's in there and stuff.
The guy was there. He was there on the defense.
Yeah, I think Stafford underthrew the ball a little bit. He gave the defender a chance to knock that ball away. Beckham made a great play, right?
Yeah, he did.
But here's the thing about OBJ that reared his ugly. He's really light built. I don't think he's ever going to stay healthy. I mean, you've seen that play. He hurt his knee on. He wasn't even hit. He was just cutting. Right. Do we know what happened yet? Is there any news on that?
I didn't see anything. I'm guessing it's an ACL. It looked like an ACL.
Too. It looked like an ACL. And
the way he ran and like he planted and he buckled, like it looked like it was an ACL, to be honest.
He's an extraordinary athlete with extreme speed, but he is built really lean, right? Like he is not built for heavy duty hits. You know what I mean? And like his body's not going to hold up.
Do you think
he's got a bad shoulder? He couldn't stay. You know what? Everybody can say what they want about him in Cleveland. It ain't that he didn't want to play. He just couldn't stay healthy, right? So,
right.
You know, that's part of it. I think if he was healthy in Cleveland and doing well, all this bad juju that's going on probably wouldn't be there if he was healthy and making plays.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you want to sum it up for the Bengals fans? I got nothing else.
I know Bengals fans are feeling disappointment because saw the Bengals had the lead 23-20, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're still leading. The Rams are driving, and it's replaying what happened against San Francisco in Super Bowl 23, right? For those that remember it. But overall, if you look at where the season started, no one even expected the Bengals to be where they were. You know, we talked about before. You said fire Zach Taylor before the season. I said give him a chance, get more players in there. They're making signings on defense, and they did. They improved a lot. They improved the defense a lot through the draft and through signings. They just have to improve their offensive line, and I think they're moving in the right direction. I think they have a good young core, and especially with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're going to be there for a while. T. Higgins is going to be there for a while, and I think that they can go out there and make plays in the future. Now, granted, next year might not be as laid out of the path as this year because the Chiefs are going to be probably, the Chiefs. AFC North, the Ravens are going to be healthy. They're going to figure out what's up with them. They're not going to have like everybody getting torn ACLs. The Steelers, I don't know how they're going to rebound yet since Big Ben's retiring. We'll
still
see
about
Steelers. That. Still the Steelers. And you'll see if the Browns can figure it out. They still have a pretty decent defense, and they have a great running game. They just have to figure out their passing game. And I'm sure they're going to address that in the offseason one way or another. So that's just in conference. We'll see what happens there. Overall, proud of the Bengals. They did well. They broke the curse of not getting the playoffs and not winning any playoff games. I'm looking forward to the future. I hope it's not for Burrow. I hope it's not a Dan Marino situation. Go to the Super Bowl early in career and never get back. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think they're going to at least get the playoffs. They're going to make some plays down the line. Hopefully, this experience helps them in the future to, win a Super Bowl. Hopefully, one day. And that's crazy to think about that as a true expectation, but I think it's legit. I think he brings that kind of confidence to the table for his team and for the city, and I think it's gonna be a great thing.
Yeah, I do have one more thing. The Bengals defensive coordinator, I forget his name. He really changed the way defense is played in this playoffs. And it'll be interesting to see if coaches can adapt to what he was doing, because Mahomes, he froze up guys like Tannehill and Mahomes and everything.
Mahomes
I
confused.
just having everybody go into coverage, the whole team, rush three and then have a spy there, right?
Right.
Teams struggled with that. Now they're going to have a whole offense to review what the Bengals were doing on defense. I think that coach might, I don't know what his background is and stuff, but I don't know why he isn't getting any consideration, because he's actually performing. Why would you want Bellamy of the Chiefs, who can't score with the Chiefs, when you can have a guy who's actually executing? You know what I mean? Like,
the one thing is, like, and Stafford did it a few times, he just checked down on the running back. He took what the defense gave him. All right, they were dropping back, they rushed three, whatever. When the guy blitzed, he checked down the running back. Running back got his 5 yards, and that's it.
Mahomes and Carr weren't doing that. They were still trying to push it when there wasn't nowhere to push
get the big play, and then they would go, and instead of throwing the ball away to live another day, they would try to make some crazy play, and they make a mistake, throw an interception, or take a sack with like a 15-yard loss, and then you put yourself in a bad situation at that point in time. So.
Yeah, and you got to make it. They got to make a tackle. So the Bengals defense is designed, though, when you do that check down, you have to make an open field tackle, and the Rams did a pretty nice job. Like that one time early in the game for their first touchdown, Kupp caught the ball. He should have been tackled for no gain, and he ran for like 30 yards, and you can't let that happen.
Yeah, I do have one question. Someone brought this up to me last night. We're watching the game, talking about the offensive line, and they were struggling with the defense line. So why didn't they try running more draws or more screens? Do you think that they should have done that to try to combat the rush of the Rams? Or you think it would?
Well, the Swagoo on Twitter was screaming for screens all night long. I'm watching Twitter, see what people were saying. He wanted both teams to run it. Neither team did. Now, I disagree with the Swag on the Rams running the screen, because a screen don't work if you're not rushing anybody, and the Bengals don't rush anybody.
Right.
So I don't know why he was calling for the Rams to run a screen. Now, with the way that the Rams defensive line was committed to pin their ears back and calm, the Bengals probably should have tried one. So
I definitely I agree with them there. I'm like, they should have run more screens than what they did. Should have run more draws than what they did. And they should have probably run more like quick stuff, like quick play action passes, and get the ball out quick to the flat, to like a tight end or someone in the slot or whatever, where they have that quick passing game. Try to just almost as a substitute for the running game, if that makes sense.
I also didn't like the Bengals going for it on the 50-yard line to start the game on fourth down.
Yeah.
Now, you knew it was going to be a defensive game, so I'm not particularly sure why they did that. Your defense is top of the line. Pin them back and win the field position.
Yeah, get the field position. There was no reason to do it. It was still even. There's no momentum we had. Everybody's still trying to get a feel for everything in the Super Bowl. I would try to pin them back and inside their 10-yard line, play good defense, hope you get good field position, come back down, and try to get some points after that. That's what I would have done. But I don't know if he had his analytics guy in his head and they had certain scenarios or whatever. I don't know what happened there. I know he keeps them in his ear the whole time, so maybe something was said at that point in time. But yeah, I disagree with that call as well. So. Yeah,
but you know what? Everybody made mistakes in that game on both sides. And, like I said, the stars came to play. That's why they get paid. It was a great game, and kept your interest all the way to the end, even if you weren't a fan of either team. Just good football.
Yeah, agreed 100%. So, like I said, sad, down about it, but still happy with their season. Proud of the Bengals. Look forward to the future. Look forward to Joe Burrow doing even more in the community, doing more for the city. Him, Jamar Chase, all the young players that have in their team. Future is bright, and the city is excited about it. It's pretty cool to see.
Yes. Yep, they'll be back.
So, all right, what we got? We're going to your favorite, NBA.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about real quick the trade deadline here.
Right.
All-Star game in the land this weekend. So me and Rell got to make our picks. But we got a couple things going on. Wouldn't be an NBA trade deadline without something big happening. We got about as big as it can get, with Simmons going to the Nets along with Andre Drummond and Seth Curry for Harden to the Sixers. I think the Sixers gave up too much because they gave up two first round picks, I think, to the Nets too, which is insane.
Yeah.
both teams were in a desperate situation. You had Harden not going to play and Simmons not going to play. As a Cavs fan, I did not want this deal to happen. I wanted both players to continue to be miserable and destroy their teams so the Cavs could run. Well, the East just got a hell of a lot harder because Simmons paired up. Now, the Net, real quick, the Nets are in trouble. They've lost 11 straight. They got to get Durant back. They got to get Simmons playing. They're in real danger of missing the playoffs.
Right. No, they are.
Yeah. The Celtics have won 8 straight. They would look like they were going to be sellers at the trade deadline. Thought left them for dead. Now the Celtics are playing good. Some of that talent like Tatum and Brown and stuff's rising, starting to play together a little bit. Right now, from what I've been seeing, you know, I watch a lot of NBA. The Suns, they got a plus 8.3 differential. Chris Paul balling, Devin Booker balling. Suns look to be the cream of the crop. We got to mention the Lakers because they're 26-31. Braun, I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs because the next team behind them is like 4 losses more, but they're 9th seed right now, and they suck. I watched them play against Milwaukee on Tuesday night, and the Greek Freak makes Anthony Davis's you-know-what every time they play, right?
That's true.
So it's a lot of stuff going on, man.
What about Miami?
Miami's number 1 in the East, and so there's 2 teams in the East I'm not sold on. I know how good the Bulls are playing. I know how good Miami's playing. I don't think either of them are a threat to win it all. I just don't from the eye test, right? I know who they got. I know their players. Jimmy Butler's good, but, you know, that's your best player. And then you have the guy from Toronto, DeMar DeRozan, having a career year with Chicago, which I did not see coming. Zach LaVine, when he's healthy, has been good. But watching those 2 teams, and they're good. The Bulls are too small. I think when the game gets physical in the playoffs, they're too small. The Heat's good. I don't trust them. I still like Milwaukee. I still like the Sixers with Embiid now with Harden. I think the Cavs can make some noise just because of how big they are and they play as a team. Right. The Cavs are in 3rd place right now. They are 35-22 right now. All right. So
the problem is they're young. So I mean,
yeah.
Like they just might have not have enough experience to like make that deep run.
The thing about the Cavs, here's what I like about the Cavs. You can't focus on one player. Everybody contributes on offense. On defense, they're enormous. It's hard to score on them, right? So when they play lockdown defense with that height, all them 7-footers out there, Evan Mobley going to be rookie of the year. The Cavs are a real threat, man. People are talking about them being, going to be a tough out. I think they're a threat to win it. Sheer size alone is why, right? So NBA All-Star game in the land. Excited about that. You got Team LeBron playing Team Durant. Durant's obviously not playing. Just read today Harden's not playing, although he was picked last. What do you think about Harden getting picked last? Little salty Durant and LeBron not picking Harden on purpose to see if Durant picked him. What do you think about that?
I mean, to me, I probably would have picked him last too. But
you're a hater. You're a Harden hater. Tell us why.
I just don't care. I don't care for Harden. I don't like his game. Don't really like his style. I mean, he does what he does, but I don't enjoy watching him. I'm cool.
Okay, so you heard it right there. So what are we thinking here? What do we got? Who's winning?
I'm looking at their teams right now. Looking at
All-Star game's been good lately. People have been playing. You know what I mean?
The new format they had, it's been really helpful overall for that. So, looking at their.
Man, this is tough. I know I was looking at it too.
I think I'm going to go Team LeBron because I mean you got the athleticism of Giannis, you have the shooting of Curry, you got Jokic he's playing well. He always plays well. You got your boy Darius Garland coming off the bench. You got Chris Paul. He'll be out there coming off the bench. You know he's trying to win. You got Jimmy Butler. You know he's trying to win.
You got Luka Doncic. He usually isn't trying to win come All-Star game, but maybe LeBron.
He's trying to kick it. He's going to shoot and be whatever he's going to be. But
yeah, he's out there being I don't like the way Doncic plays in All-Star games. Like he needs to take it more serious. I'm all over Team LeBron in this too, particularly with Durant not playing. This is all day LeBron. Yeah. I love what the Greek Freak does. The Greek Freak is the freak. Yeah, man.
Two players I do like on Team KD. I like Ja Morant. I don't know how healthy he is right now, but I do like him. And I do like Devin Booker. He's coming off the bench. And even though I don't like Embiid or whatever, he is probably the most skilled big man in the league. Can't deny it. MVP front runner. Can't deny it. And they're going to be tough. But I'm still going Team LeBron.
And shout out for Darius Garland on Team LeBron, representing the land in the hometown. I love it. He's balling. He was my get real last week on myself because I thought he was a bum. I thought it was a terrible pick, and I was completely wrong. The guy can play. That was Beeline's pick. He had to have him. I thought Beeline was nuts. So if he did anything for us in 5 months, he got us Darius Garland.
There you go. There you go. And wasn't Darius Garland? I'm trying to think, where do you go to school? Do you go
Vanderbilt?
You went to Vanderbilt, that's right.
But he only played like 3 games because he blew out his knee.
Blew out his knee. So he was like seen as like one of the top players coming in, and he blew out his knee. That's why his draft stock went down or whatever.
Yep.
So obviously, good choice. Beeline, former Michigan coach, good call by him. And you're seeing the benefits of his call right there. So good work.
All right, so we both took Team LeBron. We like to play devil's advocate, but looking at these rosters and no Durant playing, I can't go Team Durant.
Can't go Team Durant. I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
All right, so that's our quick NBA rundown at the trade deadline. You got anything else you want to add to that?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything we needed to. We got that. We got, NBA trade deadline, got the All-Star game picks. I think we're good. I think we're ready for rapid fire. What do you got?
Rapid fire. So, of course, we love football, so why not talk about next year already, right? All right.
Predictions. Hey, make your bets now. Make your bets now.
Rapid fire. Who is the MVP of the league next year?
MVP of the league next year. MVP of the league is going to be who's around still.
I'm going to go Josh Allen.
I was going to say Josh Allen. He's going to be the MVP. He's going to be due. I think the Bills are coming back. He's going to have some stat. He's a stat monster. He played well in their championship in their game against Kansas City. Like, he did not lose that game. He won that game. Their defense lost that game. So I'm going Josh Allen as well.
They call him the Terminator for a reason. I love those huge, strong athletes at my quarterback position.
Yep.
Who has the top defense next year?
If they stayed healthy, I was going to say Tampa Bay. But
it's tough. They're going to lose a lot of people in free agency. Sometimes you got to look at the conference too. I like the 49ers every year, but they got to play the Cardinals. They got to play
that's tough.
The Rams. They got to play, the other team that's pretty good. Who am I forgetting here? Seattle, which you can't count out Russell Wilson if he's back, although he may be
if he's back, he may be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, so I think the Ravens, they always play defense, although they're going to have a new coordinator. The Steelers' defense might struggle because their offense, we don't know who's going to play quarterback. And sometimes a bad offense leads to a struggling defense, right? Even though the defense could be way better.
Hey, you know who I'm going to say? Because they have the defense coordinator coming back. I'm saying the Cowboys.
Yeah, because their division sucks too.
Yeah, their division, yeah. But I think they're stat-wise, they'll be tops in their division, or they'll be tops in the league.
I'm going to go Tennessee because I think the AFC South sucks. And, they got Vrabel there. I think Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers could end up in Nashville. Very possible. Both would love to be there. You got to remember, that's the new spot. If you ain't in LA, you want to be in Nashville, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And they have a number one receiver out there. They got a running game out there.
They got Julio Jones and Brown. Oh, man. Then you got the running game with King.
Julio Jones on the downside, though. He
is, but still, man. What quarterback wouldn't want to go play on that team? All right, Tannehill showed me he couldn't do it. Tennessee had 9 sacks against the Bengals, and he just threw the ball away, right?
Right.
So, okay, that's what we're going rapid fire. We got to keep going. Top offense. Who we going? Offense.
Well, Buffalo. I'm trying to think who else is going to be out there. You can't trust the Cowboys.
I like Buffalo.
I'm not ready to see the Bengals yet, so I'm going to say Buffalo.
Buffalo gets to play the Jets twice, gets to play Miami twice. New England will probably be pretty good, but yeah, I like Buffalo too. All right, and then the question 4. We got 2 left here. All right, AFC North champ. Who is it?
Oh, no.
Bengals repeating?
As much as I want to say yes, I think the Ravens will find a way.
Wow.
I want to say Bengals. It depends on their offensive line. I worry about their offensive line. Like I think the Ravens, their injuries were a fluke this year, or it's something with their training program.
It was flukish.
It was very flukish. How many like ACL tears that their team had?
Yeah.
Like if they're healthy, I think they're tough.
I think Lamar Jackson's already breaking down, so I can't pick them. I think the Steelers are in limbo at quarterback, and they're going to have some they got some salary cap issues.
Can't go with the Browns.
I don't like the Browns because I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. As much as it pains me to say this, the Bengals have a good young team. I think they're all back, so they're going to be able to utilize those picks on offensive linemen. Mike Brown, if he ever wanted to reach into his wallet in his entire life, it'd be now to go get a tackle, whoever it is available on the market. I'd be looking for the best one.
Honestly, though, is it really the tackles that are screwing up? Everything that happens is guards. They need a right tackle. Their right tackle is getting abused by Von Miller.
Yeah, right tackle and a right guard.
Yeah. I mean, they got Jackson Carman, and I think he just has technique issues.
Here's the thing. You can get a great guard late in the first round. You can get a great guard. You can get one of the best guard players. A great tackle, though, a weak side tackle, maybe later in the first round, but you got to be thinking free agency for tackle, in my opinion.
Right.
All right. So we like the Bengals. Oh, I like the Bengals. You like the Ravens. All right.
I like the Bengals. I just worried that they're going to have the Super Bowl hangover. I feel like the Ravens are going to come back healthier, and they're going to figure that out and everything. I think it's going to be tough. I think the Bengals can definitely do it. I just worry about with everything this year. But they have Joe Burrow, and that's a different. I think he does bring a different confidence to the table. I'm wavering on my pick. I might go Bengals. So I want to.
I know Ravens, their defense coordinator left. He's with the Giants now, and they are going to be putting in a new defense. They lost a lot of players. There was a lot of injuries. I don't think Lamar Jackson. I think we've seen the best of Lamar Jackson. As much as I hate to say that, I think he's not. I think he's breaking down already from running too much. I got Bengals all day, every day. Are the Browns a threat? Yeah, but Clowney, he's going to go to the highest bidder, so I don't know if Cleveland's going to keep him or not.
Right.
So and that's a huge loss.
They need to be able to play really. They need to be able to play really good defense and control the ball, running the ball. And Baker, whenever they stack 8 in the box to stop Nick Chubb, he needs to be able to. I don't know who his receivers are going to be.
Well, it ain't even Baker. There's nobody to throw to. The receiving core sucks.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into that, but the receiving core sucks, dude. Jarvis will be gone. That frees up $15 million. DPJ still on a rookie contract. I thought he was going to be that guy, but he drops too many balls. We'll see what happens. The guy from Auburn we drafted, fast guy in the draft, drops too many balls. Nobody can get open. The scheme sucks. That's it. I'm done with that. All right.
Last question. Rapid fire. Yes.
AFC North chain. Oh no, sorry. Who wins the Super Bowl? Final question.
As much as I want to say the Bengals, I'm going to say the Bills.
Bills. All right. Oh man, I like the Bills too, but I'm going to go Devils out. I'm going to play this with a spin here. Since you took the Bills, I'm going to go Tennessee Titans. They'll have Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to win it all. All right.
Can the Cowboys do it though?
No, absolutely not. First round exit next year.
All right.
They might not even make the playoffs. Eagles might beat them. So,
that's all you got for rapid fire?
That's all I got. That was our early pre-2022 edition.
There we go. All right. So we're down to Get Real, Dane. Get Real, Dane.
Man, I'm gonna do some non-sport Get Real here for a second because I am just tired of Kanye West. It is old. Every time you pull up the news, every time you pull up TMZ, he's acting a fool. He's talking stuff. He wants to beat up Pete Davidson. I'm tired of it. Your woman, she's gone, dude. It's over. Pete's performed the robbery on everybody. You ain't the only one that he's performed this on. This is what he does. He does work. All right. And he just took your woman. You messed it up.
Robbery.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear no Donda 2 with Marilyn Manson. Nobody wants to hear that. Has he released a decent album since College Dropout? I don't think so.
I don't know.
So what the heck? I'm so sick of hearing about this dude. I'm so sick of hearing about him selling his tank. I'm so sick of him throwing his kids out there in the media saying I can't come to their birthday party. And Travis Scott had to tell me where the birthday party was or something like that. And the fact I know all this just means I'm tired of it getting shoved down my throat every day. I'm tired of Kanye West. I pull up the news right before our talk today. What's it bring up? He split up with his woman, Julia Fox or something after 2 months. I'm tired of it. I want him to go away. Go away.
I thought she was pregnant.
Who knows? It might be Drake's. I mean, I'm tired of this stuff. Tired of it. I'm tired of Kanye West. When is the last time he's done anything that's any good, right?
I don't know. Been a minute.
Did you like his whole mask thing he wears now at the Super Bowl? Like in airports everywhere, he's walking around with like, you don't know who he is?
Honestly, I haven't even been paying attention to him, so I don't know.
You know why he wears that? Because he's crying because Pete Davidson stole his woman. And now no one can see it underneath the black mask. So Kanye West, get real. It's over. Find something else to do. Work on down to 2. Just quit talking about your ex-old lady. Nobody wants to hear about it. I'm done.
And yeah, no, I understand it, man. I understand it. Dane, get real. Keep it all real. Kanye, figure it out, bro. Figure it out.
Figure it out.
All right. Last segment of the day, messing with your money with Rell. Today we have NFL running back, almost former NFL running back, Adrian Peterson. Last night, or I guess it was last night or yesterday, I saw on the ticker last night after the Super Bowl. He was arrested at an airport for according to Los Angeles Airport police statement, they received a call around 8:30 local time about possible domestic violence on board an aircraft bound for Houston, and they responded to verbal and physical altercations between a male suspect and a female victim. Now, the female victim was his wife. She is not pressing charges, but they said a representative for Peterson and his wife Ashley said in the statement that the two had a verbal argument on the flight. Said Peterson grabbed her wedding ring and scratched her finger, and a source close to Peterson said the plane then returned to the gate. Like I said, his wife, Ashley Peterson, is not going to press charges. They said this is a private misunderstanding between husband and wife, and we anticipate it will all be resolved shortly. That's what the Peterson's representative said. To me, it kind of sounds like damage control, but you know what? I'm not trying to get in their lives like that. Either way, Peterson is, for NFL age, older football player, especially for being a running back, older running back. I'm surprised he got a chance with the Tennessee Titans, to be honest with you. This just is not a good look. It's a terrible situation for it. I'm sure he was trying to get re-signed this year somewhere, and this situation just makes it tougher for him to get on a team. And I'm sure teams will look elsewhere first before coming back to him, and he'll only be like a last resort option, in my opinion. So, sorry, Adrian. You're messing with your money. It's just bad luck, bad situation. You can't put yourself in those situations. You guys got to figure it out. If you guys have arguments, I'm not saying arguments don't happen. They do. It's just better if they happen behind closed doors, especially when you're in the spotlight. There's nothing you can do about it. If the airplane has to turn around and go back to the gate, it's not just some little shouting match. There's got to be some extracurricular going on with it to where they felt that they could not take off with unruly passengers on the plane. So that's all I got. Dane, anything to add to that?
No, nothing to add to that. But like you said, when you got to have the plane turn around, it's not good because now the FBI is involved. So, yeah, it's bad. Probably going to hurt him getting any job. I think it was slim he gets a job anyway, and now I don't think he gets one at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, if he gets a job, it's because the NFL couldn't find anybody else. And I feel like they could find a younger running back from most places versus an aging running back. He's like, 36 years old, 37 years old. Lost his speed, doesn't have the same power. It's his name that he's bringing to the table at this point in time. So,
yeah, real quick, too. I can't believe we didn't mention it, but congratulations to Andrew Whitworth, longtime Bengal, gets Super Bowl championship, one of the good guys, 40 years old, playing left tackle in the National Football League.
He wanted to stay in Cincinnati. He has asked Cincinnati just take care of him a little bit. Wasn't asked for much. He just didn't want the veteran minimum. Mike Brown didn't want to pay them. Bengals still don't have a left tackle. They could have kept Whitworth on. They probably would have won the Super Bowl if they had him there at left tackle. Now he's Super Bowl champ. Congrats to him. He's a great pillar of the community for as long as he was here. And, big ups him. I agree.
He was also a Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So it's awesome.
So he does work community. Good person, good example. for everybody out there. So yeah, Dane's hyped for the All-Star game coming up this weekend in
Yeah.
Cleveland in the land representing. As always, follow me at franchise1122 on Twitter. Follow Dane at D DeMayo. We're on Instagram at Always Relevant. That's 2 L's in there. So always LWYS, RELLEVENT. Same thing on Facebook, Always Relevant Podcast. Hit us up, find us. We're going to send a poll question coming out regarding the Great Resignation. We want your opinions. We want to interact with you guys. We look forward to everything. Dane's already peaced out on us, and that's fine. Hey, we look forward to the next time. We hope you do too. We'll talk to you soon. Later.